So our first order of business as usual is to get the research going. I'm gonna start off with this. So I'm gonna go with mass assault here. Probably go with mass mobilization because I'm really focusing mainly on infantry. As much infantry as one could theoretically have. So yeah, we stood on 2. That's not beige really. Let's see. Should probably read these before we really start. The collapse of the Raj. The collapse of the British Raj has seen chaos and strife reign supreme in India as the princely realms have disintegrated and wars have replaced. Famine, disease, conflict, and anarchy make mustering an army challenging. A challenge, yeah. We will put down as a result of brutal and regular put downs by our armies. The people have no faith in our government. We shall ensure that due force understand the rules. Shall Gallipoli. Either among those who join the army, the shadow of the failures of Gallipoli stalks their confidence. Churchill clearly is not the best leader, and this attitude permeates the NCOs and his master's officers alike. Alone, unsupplied, and cut off. We rely more and more on internal manufacturing. The high quality League fields our soldiers are used to are slowly being replaced by homegrown gun design. Manufacturing problem aside, they are often nowhere near what I like. So yeah. We've basically been left, except for the Madras presidency. That's the. If I remember correctly, the Madras presidency is like what remains of the Raj. I'm trying to remember exactly. But it's basically the remnants of the Raj. Let's see what other mods I had online. Cause I think I did replace that core mod, but because of the it was making it a bit too easy. But I guess we'll find out, won't we? With the memory of Churchill's failures hang heavy on his head. Will tonight be another sleepless night? Will tonight be another tossing turn agony? Maybe there's something to help in the cabinet. Perhaps a shot of whiskey, potentially. Grace. You know, dry. Yeah, they got Jack Churchill here as well. That's funny. Oh, I forgot. I'm not sure if the other words are like this, but you don't really get much because of the position we are in. Look at that. Is yeah, that says that we are equipment and all that. Yeah, there's no way we're gonna be able to get like a motorized and stuff, so we're gonna be focusing on mass mobilization. Maybe for the best. Anyway, it's the first letter. It's gonna be, if I remember correctly, we choose a lot of events. Dearest Lord of the Admiralty, Duke Winston Churchill, I hope this letter finds you in ill health. Because of your choices in the Battle of Gallipoli, I've lost 3 children. Joshua, Frank, and Harvey are laying out in their beds, warm and safe, under the dunes of the Turkish desert because of you. I understand that war rose on death, and when my boys went to war, I was perhaps naive in believing that they would all return safe. But more details of the blunders that lead to the demise and murders as your buffoonery and incompetence become more and more clear. I realize now that they would be 1,000 times better in Ypres or Somme than under your command in the Dardanelles. I know now that their fate was preventable. If only they had not been sent to if only they had been sent to East Africa against the Ascali, or if they had found themselves knee deep in the mud of France. How pitiful! I wish for them to have suffered so far. Otherwise, they would not have died. Perhaps they could have done many great things. Either Harvey always enjoyed cooking. Perhaps he was his company's field chef. Before the shells fell. Perhaps there are poems lost in those dunes that my Joshua wrote. I won't know now. May you never again sleep peacefully, for I have not. Yours, Mary Williamson. Dated January 3rd, 1920. George took a long swig of whiskey, tried to fold it up, throw it into the fire as he had some few other letters of his type, and yet he could not. A little smudge from her tears were his, he does not remember. Yep, really piles on just how in this timeline how much Churchill basically fucked up during the because if I remember correctly, in this timeline, the whole Gallipoli, all that, it ended up being far worse, and he made a bit more blunders, and because of that, though, he didn't exactly become prime minister in this timeline, so to speak, with the pension to do so. Anyways, Churchill's companion. Whiskey soda, whiskey sour, whiskey straight. As long as it those memories. So yeah, just basically Churchill. At this point, he was also trying to numb the pain of his failures. Very depressing start, but don't worry, it could get worse. Way worse. Trust me. My God, this could get far worse. They will say Madagascar, beginning edition lost. 2 sieves, anyways. The second letter. It's become apparent that due to the shortcomings in strategies and lack of result that Sir Winston Churchill, Lord the Admiralty, is deeply incompetent. After repeated mistakes in the assault on the Dardanelles, including the complete misjudging of the situation regarding mines, safety of the soldiers to land, and lack of artillery support provided, despite no less than 5 battleships being within firing range, resulting in nearly 100,000 casualties within the first 4 days of landing. The only course that has been reasonable is that Churchill's liability in this role. Attached to the back was the official letter telling Winston in plain terms there was little more that could be said, that the king had officially revoked his role as Lord of the Admiralty. This, he thought, was a memento mori. Not for himself, no. This skull on his table, its philological markings, a new addition to the dusty thing, was reminder enough of looming death. This was not a death memory of his career which flung itself into wild adventures he was not ready for. He would never repeat the mistakes of Gallipoli, never again. He said men to the fray without deep, careful consideration, so we could actually get out of this damned place. He hadn't smelled the salt of the sea or even the stank of fish in years, almost forgotten the coast. Churchill's isolation, the library, the balcony, and where humans aren't. Alone is good. It's safe. Don't want to criticize you if you're alone. I don't want to criticize you if you're alone. But I could talk behind your back. This Churchill is. Yeah, this Churchill is like pretty fucked up because of his failures and also because of if he goes down his extreme. Anyways, the third letter. Lord Winston Churchill, with regards to your placement within the government of Britain, a question that you have reached 3 separate times. Not to mention the letters which have been thrown away, saying that 15 letters will not make the post office faster, Winston. It has been decided that you are not a total persona non grata. Instead, you will be given a place in the colonies of the British Empire. You may, if you wish, set a position in the British Raj as the governor of the province of Lucknow. The rest of the letter wasn't terribly important. It was, however, everything to Churchill. Looking at it all, looking at where his life went, since his rule in India, after Kurdistan, after Gallipoli, after so much death, destruction, and horrors wrought in the name of the British Empire. Yeah, British grandiose, perfect. Sorry. Setting the rule in India after Kurdistan, after Gallipoli, after so much death, destruction, and horror wrought in the name of the British Empire, was still willing to use him somewhere. Perhaps that was a good sign, or perhaps they understood the impending collapse of the Raj, not he would die in the ensuing fights, but he kept a step off her lip and survive. They would keep doing so. Blood. Blood everywhere. Every drip stained his mind until he was red as a cardinal and as dour as any butcher. And there's a lot of self-hatred in this Churchill. Whatever. Sir, I think he needs to stop drinking. Some war worse than the Churchill needs to restrict himself. They should loosen up. I mean, it's not like they're concerned about you possibly drinking yourself to death. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that there. I get them trained in there somewhat. Futurism. Who's the concerned maid? Sir, a maid of Indian blood entered his room with the morning tea and whiskey soda aware. Once it was called mouthwash for his tiny amount of whiskey, it was now as much whiskey as it was soda. Some days he just wanted it undiluted. Enter, mumbled Churchill. Even by the bed, he gestured to his side. He scarcely woken up before having his breakfast. Of the few perks his post had, getting breakfast in bed was an undeniable one. He picked up the crystal glass, swirled around, pretending to care about the taste and smell before gulping in a drink. The maid watched, right to gape in horror at the wreck of a man before her. Well, you have something to say? He growled, nosing her worry. Well, sir, I don't mean to be rude. He waited. She waited. The air felt tight, like before battle, before the first shot can be fired. But the maid and I have wondered if you could ease back on the alcohol. It can't be health. A solid half-pound of glass, crystal glass smashed into her eye. She let out a scream, blood steaming from her split eyelash. She curled up against the wall, trying to fight teeth, while teacher roared at her like a hell beast unleashed. I couldn't give less of a damn what the help wants. Get me more fucking whiskey. God damn. Churchill don't give a fuck as long as he got the whiskey. Anyways, sir, we need to get out of the house. Who cares if his pal? He's a grown man. His choice, damn it. It is his choice. Electronics. So researching. What's Brazil do today? Oh, ask her on this back. Oh, we got the pagan man. Interesting. But they're going down the Solidaris, I think that's what it is. Yeah. I should probably go back to Russia. Siberia. I haven't touched Siberia actually. I kinda wanna do something with them. Or at least a little playthrough with them one day. Anyway, a concerned soldier. Sir, you should as you walked through the library once more. He turned to the soldier. A young Englishman no more than 20. Good solid stock, broad swords and large chested. The kind of person he knew could be counted on to do the right thing when the news got rowdy. His Enfield Martini. One of the better rifles someone could get in this godforsaken, sun-blasted hell was clean and well maintained. A model searcher tried to give a half-hearted salute back. I must remind you, sir, as you report to me, that there will be a military parade in the courtyard. And while my place is not to judge nor command, sir, I must insist on behalf of Colonel Renaud that you attend. Son would do you good, he said, sir. There's a pause for a moment. Turning over the guard, frowning. He asked the man for his name, sir. I am Private George Statham. A private? Let me tell you, young man, So you are never to speak of me of such matters again, he said. Sir, I am really, yes, and I are following orders. Let me give you new ones. Get your pale, unbloody ass out on the streets of Lucknow for a day. And you'll know why I don't go outside. Tell the commander you are dismissed from the guard. Well, you'll be reassigned to military police, my orders. But sir, go! Don't come back until you had to crack someone's head open. Brutal. Brutal. Anyway, Churchill's contemplation. Maybe he can't go on like this. Should be more to life for a duke's son. I need a lot more. Like, bring back the Raj. This Republic, oh. Troops. Whoop, hold on. Sorry about that. It just came up real quick. So yeah, Brazil is currently at the war right here. Usually anything that happen. It's been quite a bit since I last played. Civil War in the East, of course. It's been quite a bit out. Last played. Hasn't been too long, but been a bitch, just to say the least. Oh, that happened. There's a night in the library. The raindrops splash fiercely on the floor, the sound of the white silent palace. Maybe the rain could help me think, disoriented and drunken Churchill looking through the window. The old viceroy was baffled. He was sure he went to the library for something, but he couldn't remember what it was. Maybe just want to grab a book, some of the old wisdom from Smith from used for to put the ride back on track. Maybe some classic from Shakespeare could help relieve the insomnia. Maybe he could just went for the drink of whiskey in his comfy chair. Well, he could drink, and he had drink on every chair in the house. Maybe he just wanted to take a look at the report of his table since he had nothing to do. Anything was possible at this point. I think I should go to bed, Churchill decided. The loud noise of the slippers on the carpet from his heavy feet filled him with an unusual sense of annoyance. As I said, he felt like each one of his 61 years was coming to him with every step. The old man wished to recover that enthusiasm he had when he proposed the foolish Gallipoli operation. The most resonating of failures would fill him with more life than his current depression in this situation. Did I lose control of my life? Maybe. Maybe you did. Bit loud. Now what? 2003 possible paths ahead. Which one shall you go down on? Well, we know which one he's gonna go. What he's gonna go into. That is quite interesting. Yeah, looks like the Revolutionary Japan might win that one. Okay, so here's the paths. I'm gonna make a save over here, since I know exactly if I want to come back to, if the update doesn't come out, I want to come back to this, then I could do just that. I wish Churchill's choice. But the big three for over here. It's clear now, after many bottles, after many cigars, after many lively debates, and now a small amount of requests, he sleep it off. Churchill has seen that there's only 3 paths for him. 4 if you count shoving the gun down my throat and pulling the trigger. But that's off the table. 3 it is. First, you can go forward as he had before, to contact the British. It requires just a little bit of shoving people out of the way where it's entirely possible. He could do it, just get past those socialist warlords in Matar, touch the soil of the sea once more? Yes. Yes, he could do it. He could do it. Next, he could double down, become worse. If the already putting a poster declaring his monsterhood, and he could very well become a monster. Order at all cost. Order in all times. Reunite the provinces of India, form a new Raj, one that lasts 1,000 years. Sounds familiar. As long as the British, as long as Britain, to every trace of this disgusting continent is gone, all those left is British he loves. Britain he loves. Or he could become a politician again. The royal life never assured him. No, he loves democracy too much. He loves freedom too much. You think being a law war introduce reforms and start a new electoral system? If he would create a new Raj, it would be through peace. If he creates a new Raj, it could be with words, not the weapons. But which way forwards? Which way? Perhaps I could abandon these tyrannical ways. Allow these to regain contact with Britain. I know I can do this. And what we're going with? That's it. I'll bring order to this shithole, no matter the cost. No matter the cost, indeed. Order above all. Books. Just always did love books. Let's look at some of the ones the library would do his mind well. Maybe. Potentially. Theoretically. Videos in the meantime. Yeah, we have ability for playing it as well. Just necessary sacrifice then. Mainly playing in around watch 3. Gain vast experience. I put it on hold at least for a little bit. Oop. I skipped that event. I apologize for that. Let me do that. I think I saw what it was before. Skipped it. You guys should probably read that. I think it's best to just be like, read see some of the more other books. It is reading books on race. Reading books perhaps with the scheming. Also views on the non-European peoples of our styles, but new scientific ideas are always welcome. Scientific ideas, you say? The revolution has succeeded. Now probably be the North China government. Now here's the lecture of man. Books on race, on science, of ethnicity, on the anthropology of mankind. Just devoured them all. There was a text in, there was one, but the newest was still old, giving the other access to new works. On the strange court of India, on the supreme physicality of Englishmen, on the justification of imperialism, for it was England's birthright to go across the world, to bring the world culture and light. Churchill read and read some more. Well into the early hours of morning. Until the breakfast was ready, they started reading, and afterwards he slept, wondering on what he had read. Never took it for much of an anthropologist. Apparently, I mean, he did have some views. Even in real life. Reading books on rules. The last time we picked up this book was for school class, sorry. But a book on the rules sheet would be useful in these trying times. Good old Machiavelli. Yeah, these guys are getting some good old experiences. Nice. Nice. We should probably start getting some. There's famine, of course. The prince. Rule, power, the ability to command others, the divine right of kings to the mandate of heaven. from the justification of the guns and the wants to build the Iron Club. Powers with defines history, and Churchill, despite his sordid position, managed to have and maintain power so that the old Italian Machiavelli seemed as good any place as any. Perhaps with older texts too by philosopher kings who had seemed to be a good head on their soldiers. Even engaging in a bit of self-flagellation, we saw read reports from battle from generals how the British engaged in disciplined combat. Soon he would have every tool needed to secure a future for him, for Britain, for India. From the past to the future. And actually, I'm gonna end this episode a bit early. This is gonna be a bit early from my position. But yeah, we get things in a recap. We are gonna get to know you, old boy. And then we're really gonna start really asserting our rule and actually make steps to bring order to the chaos, in a sense, with or without the British. So I'm the Mad Artist, and I'll see you guys later once we get a new you. New day, new me. Same situation. But until then, I'm the Mad Horse, and I'll see you later. Bye.